How do you install a whole house dehumidifier into your HVAC system? How do you configure the ductwork? How do you wire it into the system? And why is it important? You're watching HVAC Tips for Technicians / Homeowners. I'm Tad. This is Taddy Digest. Let's go. We just finished installing the HVAC system, the ductwork in this new construction home. And the reason we had to install the whole house dehumidifier is because it's foam insulated. It's tight. It doesn't breathe. With a leaky home, it breathes. So you don't have as much of a humidity problem. With the foam house, we have a humidity problem. Why? Because the air conditioner doesn't run very long. The load is low. It runs long enough to bring the air temperature down, but it doesn't run long enough to take the moisture out of the air. It takes care of the sensible load, but not the latent load. So we have a humidity issue, and we have to be able to control that humidity. That way we can prevent structural damage, prevent mildew and mold, make it more comfortable inside the house, and make it better for the customer's health. So that's the reason we have the whole house dehumidifier. Now that you know why we have a whole house dehumidifier and the importance, let's move on to this configuration, how we installed this, and then talk about the different ways you can install a whole house dehumidifier. To know how we installed this, you got to know how the HVAC system is set up. So right here is our air handler. This is the indoor unit. We've got an outdoor unit and an indoor unit, and this is a heat pump system. So it's all electric. We've got the air handler that pulls in air from the home through the return. Here's our return. Below the ceiling, we've got our return grill where the homeowner changes the filter right there. So the air comes in through this big round pipe, and then it goes all the way to the inlet side of the air handler. Now, out of the air handler is where the supply duct is. So this is where all the branch lines are connected, and that's where the air goes back into the home, that cool air or that warm air, depending on which mode we're in. Now, if you look at the dehumidifier, you can see it's hooked into the return, and the air comes from the return into the dehumidifier. And then we have the exhaust air or the discharge air going from the dehumidifier back into the return. And this configuration is known as return to return. There are a few different duct configurations. We're going to talk about that next. Ours is return to return, and whenever the dehumidifier calls for dehumidification and it turns on, it's going to give a call to the indoor fan. So the fan is going to run as well, and that is going to help that dehumidified air to be then distributed proportionally throughout the house. Now, let's look at the manual, because that is the most important piece to the puzzle. Before you install a whole house dehumidifier like this, please look at that manual. We're going to go over those duct configurations, then we're going to go over wiring, and of course, the drain. If we look at the manual, we can see basement installation and attic installation. We can see the return to supply configuration, and it gives us that requirement, 24 inches from any branch duct, and then the return to return, 6 feet minimum from return to supply, or from inlet to outlet pipe from that dehumidifier. If we go up here, we've got the note that says when ducting from return to supply, the HVAC blower does not need to run when running the dehumidifier. And then it gives us that note about return to supply. When ducting return to supply, allow adequate space, 24-inch minimum before the first branch duct, to ensure the warm dehumidified air is thoroughly mixed with the HVAC system. So return to supply, we can't have that fan blowing. For some applications, you actually have to have a backdraft damper. So if the fan for the HVAC system does run, it doesn't blow the air back into the dehumidifier. For the return to return, which is what we have for our setup, we actually want that HVAC system running, that fan running. Now, if we go over here, we can see there is a standalone configuration. So we can just have the duct from the dehumidifier going to the space on each side. See? Now go up here, we can have one side coming from the space going into the dehumidifier going to the return, or from the space to the supply. Let's stop right here before we move forward. Let's look at something that can easily happen during installation that can affect the way the system runs, and it can be less efficient. I don't want you to end up doing this, and I have done this on accident. So you see how the airflow arrow is pointing this way? our return to return, we're coming from the house into the dehumidifier, and then it's going back into the system, right? What if we weren't paying attention and we had it opposite, right? We had this the other way, to where the air was going from the return close to the system and then back into the return. What would happen? Well, that dehumidified air would then be dehumidified again and again. So pay attention when you're installing the dehumidifier. Make sure that you don't get it to where, well, you're doing that. If you want to bring in fresh air, there's a couple configurations for that as well. All right, let's talk about wiring for this April Air Model E100 100 pints per day dehumidifier. Let's cover the wiring methods, and then I'm going to show you the way this is wired and how that dehumidifier turns the fan on and they work together. So first, the wiring method we used is we wired straight from the dehumidifier to the HVAC system. This way, when the dehumidifier turns on the indoor fan for the HVAC system. Another way we wire is we use a remote control. We use a Model 76 dehumidifier control. We use an April Air thermostat that's in the space, senses the humidity, wires straight to the dehumidifier, and it'll turn that dehumidifier on. Another way is using an external control. Let's say we've got a zone panel. Let's say we got a communicating thermostat with a zone panel, and it's got a set of auxiliary contacts. We got the two wires going from that zone panel straight to the dehumidifier, and it's wiring into the DH terminals. There's two DH terminals. So whenever the thermostat calls, that zone panel closes the contacts, and that turns on the dehumidifier. Now let's look at the wiring. All right, I got the panel off of the air handler so you can see where the thermostat wire goes in. So I've got a thermostat wire from the air handler up into the dehumidifier. I've also got an inline float switch, and I'll talk about why that's necessary. So here's the terminals labeled DH. This I would wire to a zone panel. Then you've got terminals labeled float switch, and this is where my float switch wires into. Then we've got our wiring for our remote. So we can use that April Air thermostat or remote control. And then there's a few other things. Outdoor sensor, if we want to have a vent, maybe we want to bring in fresh air. Here's where the HVAC system wires in. I'll explain the wiring. So we've got 6 wires: yellow, white, green, blue, red, black. And they are labeled in the manual. I'll show you the labels and explain how it's wired. Here's the wiring diagram in the manual that I use to wire up the dehumidifier. There's 2 wires that are very important. I'll explain. So if you look at the terminals, you've got GH, RF, CF, GS, W, and Y. Y is the call for cooling, the yellow wire. W is the call for heating, the white wire. GS breaks the call for the fan. CF is common, the blue wire. RF is red, that is the 24 volt. And then GH breaks the call for the fan. So the black wire that goes to GH goes down here to the HVAC equipment and goes to the G terminal. And then that GS, which was the green wire I used, it goes straight to the thermostat. That's the G, that's the call for the fan. So now I'm going to show you in the equipment. Here's our thermostat wire that goes from the thermostat, and we've got that going to the GS that goes to the dehumidifier. And then from the dehumidifier, we've got the black wire, which is GH, goes straight to the G terminal. So if I turn on the dehumidifier, it's going to turn on the fan. Now let me make sure the system is off. Here's our thermostat. Looks like it's in the cooling mode, so I'm just going to run it up so it shuts off. And then once it shuts off, I'll go upstairs and then I'll turn the dehumidifier on. Let's wait a few seconds. It should shut off. It says stage 1 right now. Come on, buddy. You can do it. I believe in you. We're waiting. All right, stage 1 just went away. All right, I just heard it shut off. Perfect. All right, you can see The fan is not running. Now, let's go up here to the control. Because the dehumidifier is plugged in, you can see it's plugged in right here, 110 volt. Let's turn on the power. All right, I heard a click. And there we go. Make sure you install a float switch. You can install one of these, which sits in a pan, and you can install a pan underneath the dehumidifier, or build a pan, put the dehumidifier in it, and then install this in that pan, and then wire it in to where it says float switch. That way you have a way to cut off that dehumidifier so you don't have water pouring out of your pan into your ceiling. Now, we didn't build a pan to put the dehumidifier in, so we use a inline float switch. So this will do the same thing that this will do. It'll basically cut off that dehumidifier and then prevent water from damaging the ceiling. When you install the drain for the dehumidifier, check out the manual. If you are required to have a trap, install a trap. This is what a trap looks like. It's basically a U that holds water. Why do you need a trap? If you install the drain into a vent, then you don't want to have a smell, right? And if this is on the negative side, then it's going to suck back air if there's no water in it, and that can produce a smell inside the home. We don't want that. We had to install a trap, so we installed one. What percentage did I set the dehumidifier for? I set it for 55%. Anything in between 40 and 60 is a good humidity range for me. Anything over 60%, and we're going to start seeing mildew and mold, and we don't want that. So rather than set it at 60, I set it at 55. Some dehumidifiers, I set it for 50. So it just depends on your preference, but I like 55, sometimes 50. If you want to learn more about dehumidifiers, like how a dehumidifier actually works, or how to install a dehumidifier in a basement, I'll put some links down below so you can click on those links and learn more. Hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something. If you did learn something, let me know in the comments what it was. If you got a question, remember, questions can lead to new content, so put your questions down below. But if you don't have a question, that's okay. Let me know who you are and let me know where you're from. You want more videos like this? Go check out my playlist, HVAC Tips for Technicians. I've got hundreds of videos of live experience as a technician in the field to help you be a better technician. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, smash that bell, ding, so you know what I'm doing. You've been watching HVAC Tips for Technicians / homeowners. I'm Tad. This was Taddy Digest, and I'll keep you cool if you let me.